You can't sell crypto to broke people. That was yesterday's episode. I'll have a link down below, or actually just go to my homepage. You can subscribe, go to the homepage of my channel, and you'll see that yesterday's video, I went into detail, my little theory, if you will, on the fact that even though here in 2025, we've had a lot of positive catalysts, Fed lowering rates, M2 going up, quantitative tightening ending, tariff deals finally completed, tariff deal with China finally completed, companies buying Bitcoin, DATs, digital asset treasuries popping up to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and others. All of these positive things, yet the crypto market is still in the toilet. I'm going to talk about two things I think you can do based on that information. I'm Brian. I'm a big dumb animal. Don't do what I do. This is informational purposes only. I will talk about my school community at the end, but I want to keep this short. I want to keep it pretty concise. Okay, two things that I'm doing and I'm focusing on right now because I'm not buying additional crypto. I have bought for almost 2 years for this bull run, if you will. And if you watched yesterday's episode, I showed that the older generation, 55 and plus, has the majority of the money in America, and they don't buy crypto. I showed that it's only a couple percent actually have crypto. So if they have 72% of the wealth, $100 trillion in the US, and only a couple percent of them buy, and even the ones that buy, it's only a couple percent allocated, then what you have is the people with the money aren't buying crypto. Then you have those under 40, which have the least amount of assets in the US. And unfortunately, because of high inflation recently, which didn't go away, we all know that home prices are too expensive, cars are too expensive. In terms of school loan debt has gone up astronomically. Car loans have gone up astronomically. Home prices have gone up astronomically, but wages have not really gone up. So you've got a group of people who 30 to 40% of them under 40 buy crypto. Yet most of them in this economy are kind of broke. So we're going to sell crypto to broke people? Probably not. It may be one of the reasons that the crypto market hasn't really taken off, yet gold is through the roof. Older generation has the money, buys gold. Silver through the roof. Older generation has the money, buys gold. Stocks through the roof. Older generation has stocks, has the money, buys the stocks, they go up. Crypto in the toilet. Older generation has the money, doesn't buy crypto. Younger generation buys crypto, doesn't have any money. Okay, I'm simplifying it, but that could be one of the many reasons. So we need some things to change, obviously. However, what can we do in the middle of all this? And here's one thing. Because just last week, depending upon when you watch this, it was October 29th, 3 new spot ETFs came out for Solana, Hedera, and Litecoin. Spot ETFs are very important because it means that they have to buy the underlying asset in a direct one-to-one correlation with what you've purchased. You put $100 in, they got to turn around and go buy $100 of, for example, Litecoin. Well, as you know, CoinMarketCap and others, they track the fact that we've had Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs for a while, and money, it just keeps flowing in. Bitcoin total assets under management, $146 billion worth of Bitcoin has been purchased. This is net. So, some has been bought, some has been sold, but this is net sitting in ETFs. Ethereum, 21 billion. We've had both of those for a while. Now, if you've watched some of my other shows, you know that I've explained that a lot of these older individuals, they will have financial planners. I have one myself for some of my money, and they have portfolios and they keep a percentage. They diversify into different areas. And so they are not going to go buy cryptocurrency on my behalf. Legally, financially, with regard to insurance, it's too dangerous. But will they buy an ETF? Of course, they buy ETFs all the time. So the only crypto, basically, that's been bought by this older generation, most of them, I believe, are just buying the ETFs. And the only option is Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin's been doing well. Ethereum's been doing well. You might say, well, it's only around 4,000 now. It was almost about 4,800. But it was 1,400 back in April. So it's huge that these additional ETFs have come out. So the first thing I think you should focus on, and what I'm focusing on, is buying cryptocurrencies that have ETFs or have applied for ETFs, and there's many of them. And just this site here, So Value, I'll put a link down to it below. But Bitcoin, 146 billion. Remember that. Ethereum, about 22 billion. The numbers, they're not perfect. Depends on time of day and how they do it. But on this site, I always like to double check things. US Bitcoin spot, it says 147 billion. Okay. And over here, it said 146.35. Close enough. Then if we go under ETH, what does it say? Total assets, 26 billion. What does CoinMarketCap say? 22 billion. Okay. Close enough. Now, that tells me that these other ones are probably pretty close as well. US Solana spot ETF launched on the 28th. Total assets under management, 500 million, $500 million in just 4 days. That, in my opinion, is significant. That's a spot ETF, and they actually have staking. It's a staking ETF. You don't get a yield, but they do take the money from the yield and put it back in, so you do get the benefit of it. HBAR, Hedera, since the it looks like it started, 28th, not much here, so it looks like it started on the 29th, really, 45 million. I think that's huge, because if you think about this, when you look at the older generation, they typically get their news from business channels. And if you watch any of these business channels, regardless of which one, you always see tickers at the bottom, stock tickers. And sometimes you'll see crypto as well, Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's typically it. Usually that's the only thing that runs by. That's all they know. So the fact that these other ones, like Solana is pretty well known, it's been around for a while, but Hedera is fairly new. It's becoming a household name. So 50 million to me is a lot, considering it's only been a couple days. Litecoin is only at 1.64 million total net. So it's not quite as much, but just the fact that these launched, I think, is huge, and more will be coming. There'll be more spot ETFs for all three of these, Solana, Hedera, and Litecoin, and there will be ETFs popping up for many other cryptos. But in my opinion, if the only people that have money right now predominantly only buy crypto through ETFs, then the only crypto that's going to have money flowing into it in large amounts is going to be cryptos that have ETFs. I love Hedera. I've always talked about it. I've been buying it since it was 4 cents. You probably saw my initial video that I put out when it was just 4 cents. I'm a big believer. I think it will continue to do well. There's other cryptos we'll talk about later that are coming up with ETFs, but that's the first thing I think you can do. Second thing, I'm going to start putting out videos on how to trade. If you look at, for example, the exchanges here, where are they? On CoinMarketCap. And it talks about there's spot exchanges where you just obviously buy and sell. Then there's derivatives, and derivative markets do substantially more volume than the spot markets. They used to talk about how much volume it is, but it's about 8 times the volume. So even though you see the markets going up and down and up and down, kind of slow, and you think, oh, this is really not moving that fast, there's a lot of trading activity on a daily basis. So one, check out the cryptos that have ETFs. And two, I've got a link down below for BTCC, which I like a lot. And if you'll see my big fat head on there. If you use the link down below, they've got sign up bonuses and other things. They've been around for 14 years. They're in their top 20 of derivative exchanges, and they're the oldest. They've been around the longest, up to 500x leverage. And 2 things they have, which I think are great. One, they've got futures copy trading, where you can trade copy others who have been successful doing it, if you just want to follow what they do. And also, they have a demo account that you can just click and start using, and it's got $100,000 of fake money in it. But that is very important. I've put out videos on how to do this. Of course, like anything else, you have to know what you're doing. You have to really study. It's not easy, but I put out videos on how to do it. I have a whole course how to do it in my crypto school, and I'll be putting out videos explaining how they work, because it's not easy. But once you start to understand how these exchanges like BTCC work, they all essentially work the same, but oftentimes they will have different names and they'll have things under different links. So I'm going to explain front to back how BTCC works, because the second thing you can do in a sideways market, if you're looking to make money, is trade with derivatives, which amplifies the amount that you're investing. You can also be liquidated. There's downsides as well. But I've got a video down below, and I'm starting that I already had put out a while ago showing the basics, and I'm going to have a new playlist. So please do subscribe, because the playlist will just have explanatory videos on how to use the BTCC exchange. So look down below, hit that link, sign up. It's free to sign up. And if you use my link, you'll get some bonuses, and I'll be teaching how the site and everything works. You want to join my crypto school? I'm also going to be adding my strategies. I have some in there and others as to how I trade myself. And again, you can't sell crypto to people that are broke. So I think it might be a while before the market and altcoins really move. I could be wrong, but that's my current theory and thesis I'm going with. In the midterm, I'm only looking to purchase crypto now that has an ETF, because I want to see those that move, and those they need money flow to move. And secondly, trading, I've been doing it for a while. You can too. Watch some of my videos. So when you see my videos now on YouTube, some will be my talking about various crypto industries, talking about the market, and now some trading videos as well. Have a great day. Love how I break things down? Then hop into my crypto school. You'll get step-by-step courses on everything: buying, selling, staking for yield, borrowing, lending, even going fully debanked. Plus, join lively crypto chats and catch my daily market updates. And lastly, if you just want to help support the channel, there's a join button just below this video.